Hey everyone, I'm Ross Chastain, and welcome to the new studio at the farm for the first episode of Asphalt, presented by Levrack, powered by AgAmerica Media. Today we'll recap the clash at Bowman Gray, touch on a few other NASCAR headlines, take you down to Lady Moon Farms in Punta Gorda, Florida, an all-organic operation, and wrap it up with a preview and look ahead to the Daytona 500. Since this is the first episode of our Asphalt series in 2025, I want to take a minute and talk about how we got here. My career has provided me a unique opportunity to shine a light on agriculture, which is what my family has done ever since we came to America. And we've been centered in watermelons for a long time, as is well documented. But there's a lot of other ag out in this great country. And in 24, we invited farmers and their families to the track every weekend. And they got to have kind of a behind the scenes cool experience and take a break from reality and farming at their operation. Moving forward into 25 though, we want to go to their farms and let them tell us their story. It's something that I've kind of asked for, that I'd like to actually go see these places and not just a video they send us and some text. I want to actually drive there, fly there, whatever it takes, and do it half of the races this year. So you won't see us every week, but for about half of the weeks this year in 2025, I'll come to you from here in the barn studio, and we'll talk a little bit about some ag, some farms that we visited, look back on the race before, look forward to the race ahead. So let's jump right in. It's time for the Smashdown presented by Levrack. So NASCAR took the clash to Bowman Gray. I loved it. I think that the fans that we had turn out, it's some of the highest metrics whenever we look at the TV markets and the tune-ins and the viewership. That Greensboro area scores high, a lot higher than I would ever think for the population that's there. It's the site of our very first NASCAR race ever. It's where the France family first held the first race. So I loved it. I thought that the track was it's a good age of asphalt. So we were slipping our tires down the straightaway. Just a totally different experience on track than the Coliseum was, where it was new asphalt every year. Chase Elliott drove off to a commanding win. You could see it in practice. Car was working good. I thought the 5 actually early on, like the first couple laps of practice, I watched actually from on top of the turn 3 hill at the end of the grandstands, and that was showing right off the bat the 5. But then talking with Kyle, it seemed like that actually led them down the wrong path, tuning their car for that track with none of our Goodyear rubber on it. You saw the 12 car drive through the field. We watched him in the last chance race. That was a unique experience for me. I got to sit up in the grandstands with the Wood brothers. That was really neat to watch them watch their car, watch Josh Berry drive into the feature by running second in that last chance race, but could see glimpses of the 12 right there. And then in the race, just had the turn. The front end of his car was cutting better than all the cars I think that he was around. So he did a great job to drive up there and make a run at it, but just ran out of steam there at the end. I had a similar, I guess, experience catching the 23 at the end of the race and got tight right when I got to him. He took my line away, and I hate to say it, but there are aero disadvantages. It doesn't matter how slow we're going. The leading car is going to have more downforce, and that was the case for me at least. I'm not sure about the 12, but catching Darrell at the end was impossible to pass once I got there, or I didn't have the tools to do it. So that was cool to see the 12 drive through the field, though, watching it back. So adding to the longstanding TV partners that we've had in the sport for my entire career with Fox and NBC, we're going to add 2 new ones into the middle of the summer with Amazon. And we're all going to learn together how to stream all this and figure out how to navigate watching our NASCAR. And then with TNT and the summer tournament, I don't understand that either. So we'll learn together what that means. But it's some bracket racing where I just have to beat one person to advance. But I really can't change how I drive any. So we'll see how all that stacks up. We have a new track with Mexico. I made a trip down there over the off season, not to Mexico City, but just into the country. And beautiful country, beautiful area, great people. Had a great time with some buddies. It was for my brother's bachelor party, so we had a good time, and maybe a little more casual fun this time going there for work. But the cars with Gen 7, we're in year 4 now of our current car, and it continues to evolve. The team's continuing to evolve it, And you see our differences in qualifying getting tighter and tighter. The difference in making the final round and not qualifying in the top 10 is tighter than ever. And I only expect that to actually get tighter. So we'll see what 2025 has in store for us. Now, before we get into the Daytona 500, I want to take y'all down to Punta Gorda, Florida, where I recently visited Lady Moon Farms, where they specialize in 100% organic produce. Let's check that out. Boots on the ground here in Punta Gorda, Florida. Today we're at Lady Moon Farms, an all-organic farm with Miss Anais. One, that's probably going to be the most exotic name that we come across in this farm series. Where are you from?
I'm from Pennsylvania, born and bred on a tiny farm there. My parents founded our farm in 1988 in Pennsylvania, small farm, 10 acres. My dad wanted to grow organically from the beginning. He never really got why people would put chemicals on food they were bringing home to their kids. So we would come down to Florida during the off season because it was just a seasonal farm. And he started getting he was itching to do something. So he started visiting the Florida farms during that season. He would be looking, he'd be seeing what they were able to grow. He would check out the equipment. And finally, I think it was like 99, so 11 years after our founding, he wanted to try it out. So he rented 50 acres on Babcock Ranch right down the road to see if he could even grow successfully in Florida organically. And that first year, the stars aligned, perfect weather. He had one of the best years ever in harvesting crops, and he realized then that he could do it, and it would really be changing for the whole company. So it started out 50, then the next year he expanded a little bit, and then in 2001 he bought this farm, which we're on now, which is about 800 acres, and that changed the business from a small seasonal operation to year-round 100% organic, moving between the states.
When did it click for you that this is what you wanted to do?
I came back about 10 years ago. It's really kind of not a job, it is our entire life, but I feel really grateful to be able to stand out here. Maybe not today because it's raining and cold, but normal days it's beautiful, it's sunny, and we're growing, really nutritious food for people. And we grow about 40 different items. This is lettuce. It's one of our big items, specifically romaine, but we also do, all the bunching greens, collards, parsley, fennel, and then we have our tomato dry veg programs.
For a consumer, for somebody going to the grocery store, it is Lady Moon Farms, and I'm sure they're going to see that on the screen right now. How far do these roots grow out? Are they more straight down?
Yeah, they go down, but we have 3 across, and they'll go out a little bit. But you can see here too, this is starting to get tip burn, which is why these are really good for romaine hearts, because we'll come down, we'll cut it at the end, and then you're just taking that inner center core. Actually do everything by hand planted transplant on this farm. I did the calculations once, it's like 17 million transplants by hand, because we found that there's a lot of different transplanters, but we found that a human hand putting it into the soil at the right depth, they're all different sizes, has the best stand consistently. Otherwise you can get more mortality after they're planted.
Which one's your favorite?
I like the Bostons, the butter leaf. They're sweeter, they're softer. Normally when you're buying them in the store, you're just buying hydroponic or container grown, so being able to find a soil grown Boston is not that easy.
Nobody at home can smell it, but the smell is strong and it's so good.
Yeah, it smells like you're in a salad.
Yeah, we're walking through a salad.
So Rasenda's going to show you the process for romaine hearts. He's one of our farm directors. Right there. And then you clean out the leaves a little bit. You want it to be nice and skinny and dense so it fits into the bag easily. And then you put it in the crate. So he's putting 36 in every crate, and then that equates to 3 go into a bag, 12 bags into a box. So 1 crate equals 1 shipped box. What do you say? You want to give it a try?
I can try it.
Are you ready?
You want to talk about? No, I'm not ready. You want to talk about slow?
All right. Do we trust him with the knife, Rosendo? That's probably pretty good. Now you got to clean it. You got a lot of leaves on there. Probably a little high.
I went too high?
Yeah, see how yours is cut off here?
So no good.
Yeah, no good. So
oh, man!
Yeah, un poco más, a little bit lower. Sorry, in my Spanish brain. Maybe?
Still? Still.
All right, now clean it up. Let's see what you got. Take off the leaves. Okay, this one might be good. ¿Está bueno? All right, now do it 35 more times, and that's one
Ahí está, eso es bueno.
All right.
There's a reason I drive race cars. 800 acres, but it's never enough, right? So you are rotating crops through this land throughout the year as quickly as 4 weeks sometimes for different crops. How do you look at crop rotation, and what are you doing to keep this land producing for you, month after month and year after year?
Crop rotation is key for just being a certified organic farm. It's one of the things that comes into the parameters they're looking at, but it's also key to make sure that we have less disease, less insect pressure. So like once this lettuce is done, I'm not gonna put lettuce back here because the bugs that like lettuce know I just had lettuce here. So we're really careful about crop rotation. We try to plan it out where we have 3 different crops in a row, and then every summer when it's not growing season, we plant cover crop, and we'll do like sun hemp, sorghum, sometimes peas.
It's a never-ending battle, right? To keep the dirt, and because I'm guessing whether or not your boys want to or not, they'll have the opportunity to grow up here and grow the business with y'all.
Yeah, it's
you want to leave it better.
You do. You want to leave it better, and that's like really core to what we do because we've always been organic. It's all we do, and organic has grown. It's $1 billion industry now. And because of that, you have a lot of players who have their conventional land and then their organic acreage. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's different from what we do because it's all we do. We really believe in it. I want to make sure that I'm leaving the land better, not just so I can grow a better crop, but so I know that my kids, their generation, this land will be here and it'll be able to continue to produce. So that's really important to me.
Well, we know it's a lot of hard work and it's a lot of long days, and just like today, it's not beautiful. It's cold, windy, and raining. We're both soaking wet.
Yeah.
Camera crew is too, so thank you to those boys. But with an all-day workload, we want you to be in a boot, and Georgia Boot wants to give you a pair of boots.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Awesome.
Georgia Boot tailors it to the farmer, and they want you to know that when you pull it on, they're with you to go to work.
Thank you, Georgia Boot.
Thank you for bringing us inside. What are we looking at here? We've got some stuff boxed up.
This is fresh market retail romaine. So this is gonna go to your Whole Foods, that type of store that you shop at and you're buying a head of lettuce.
Where all can people find this?
Whole Foods we sell to. We also sell to Publix, and then we do a lot of work with smaller like co-ops, mom and pops that are distributed through large retailers in the Mid-Atlantic Northeast. So you'll see like our tag on it. It's wrapped up usually, leave them there, whereas lettuce is just fresh cut, so we depend on the retailer to pack it for us.
So this plastic here, you put this on top, is that
paper, and it's like falling apart because it's so wet outside, but it's butcher paper, and we put it on top of all of our greens, and basically it does a few things for us. One, it'll keep the sand out. It's a very sandy soil. Our customers don't want to get a head of lettuce full of sand, so it kind of keeps that from happening. And then also a lot of our crops get ice after they're harvested. Lettuce does not, but like bunched kale does. So the ice would go on top of the paper, and it keeps a separation a little bit between the ice and the product itself.
Coolers, they're single level, you're driving?
Only single level, yeah. We're getting to the point where on our busy days like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it is so packed full, we have to put up a reefer to put some stuff into that to store extra. So we're hoping to get some shelving put in to expand that.
Sounds like you need some Levrack shelves. I mean, you got room in there.
Hey, we have room and we're ready to grow. Yeah.
For you, why do you do this? I know your dad did it. You wanted to be like your dad, but why do you continue to be in ag?
Yeah, it's hard and it's gotten harder. Every year is harder. There's more natural disasters. Everything we do costs more. The margins have gotten smaller. So I ask myself that sometimes too, because I had a life, I call it like pre-farm, even though it's always been farm. And really it comes down to, I'm the second generation. My dad created this with my mom's help, obviously. And I am an incredibly competitive person, and I'm not gonna let that like just go away when I could have been the one to keep it going as an option for my kids and their kids. So I feel a lot of, I don't want to call it pressure because it's by choice, but I think it would be really sad if we weren't able to continue our operation. I feel really strongly about like how I'm going to make an impact, and I think the impact that we're making at Lady Moon Farms is significant, and I'm proud of that.
Big thank you to Lady Moon Farms, Levrack, Georgia Boot, and Fresh from Florida. But now let's look forward to the Daytona 500 as we set the table for this week's race. 45 cars entered, including 4 cars for Trackhouse, so I'm partial to all of us, with Elio in the 4th car, Project 91, Shane in his first 500, and Daniel and I lining up again to give another crack at this. We'll work through the week. It's the longest week we have on the schedule from an on-track perspective, so we'll get that kicked off. So I wrote down what to expect for the Daytona 500 as kind of a talking point here. And to be honest, I've been thinking about it and I have no idea. Every 500 that I've been in has played out different. It's never been the same race. And I think that's what makes it so great. I think that's what makes live sports so great, is that they're not the same year after year. Talk about some of the places I'm going to be. I'll be at the Fresh from Florida display at the track on Friday at 12:30. Also on Friday, we'll be at Walmart in Daytona Beach 2 to 3 and Winn-Dixie from 3 to 4 in Holly Hill with Busch Light. And then Saturday, I'll be out at the merchandise rig, the Cruisin' Sports rig, the big black trailer with my ugly mug all over it at 1:45. And on Sunday, look, it starts at 9:30 in the morning. And I'm going to be at the Chevy stage, the Busch Light stage, and a whole lot more. So if you're anywhere around Daytona on Sunday, you're going to see me going from place to place. And we got those schedules out there to look at. So when I think about Sunday, the duels will dictate a lot of what I'm thinking Sunday morning of how my car handled, what changes Phil Surgeon and my one group at Trackhouse think they can make to make the car handle better, push better, get pushed better. With that last thing, getting pushed has been the biggest thing I've asked for help on over the years, mainly when other Chevys are pushing me. And so we've gotten it better, but there's always room for improvement. And with practice Wednesday, mainly focusing on qualifying speed, those practices Friday and Saturday, if we decide to go draft, will be the time to go learn that and see if we can change some geometry, change some springs, shocks, whatever those guys and girls at Trackhouse decide to do. I don't get in the weeds on all that, but see if they can come up with anything that'll make the car get pushed a little more comfortable. And then, wake up Sunday morning as a driver, getting a chance to compete in the Great American Race is a feeling I hope I know one day I'll have to stop feeling it, but I hope for a really long time I get to feel it. And I know I'm pretty blessed and fortunate that I get to do it. So, all right, that is it. That is everything for our first episode. Y'all are going to see me evolve, I think, quite a bit as I get more comfortable. Like I'm sitting in a toolbox in my barn with a big Levrack behind me. It's a little different. I've never done this. I've never been the one on camera by myself talking and implementing all kinds of sponsors and ins and outs of different pieces of the show. So be funny to look back at this one day because I think we'll all laugh together. So be sure to tune in to the Great American Race Sunday, February 16th at 2:30 on Fox. Hit subscribe on the YouTube channel so that you see when this stuff pops up, and leave a rating on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you're listening to this. Sure you leave a rating. Thanks, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.